Hello guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the West Ham world. It's Luke here. I hope you're all doing well. Massive game at 2 o'clock on Sunday against Newcastle. A game I'm absolutely dreading. There's a lot more to this game, not just the football. There's obviously the massive sitting at the end. That's all part of the protest that we're all trying to get together to get this board out of this club, or at least to resign and put someone more capable in charge of this football club. Now, let's start with the game and then we'll talk about the protest after. Please comment along. I'll read out as many comments as I can after I've done my little summary of the game. We'll talk about it together. So, 2 o'clock kickoff against Newcastle. They're currently 12th in the league. They're doing okay, though. They won against Tottenham 2-0 in midweek. That was a good game. They beat Fulham 2-1 the weekend before. They beat Benfica 3-0 in the Champions League as well, and they're doing well. They're a good little team. They probably want to be slightly higher up in the league, but considering they're in the Champions League, still in the League Cup, they're doing okay. They're managing their games well. Eddie Howe is one of my favourite managers in the league. I think anyone who have watched this channel for a very long time, I probably speak about in nearly every other video about a man who's such a fantastic coach, such a good people person, and just seems to know how to get the best out of his players whilst also being able to deal with the superstars as well. Gets the fans. I would absolutely love. We missed the boat on him. We should have got him a long time ago, Eddie Howe. No chance of getting him now. He'll be there for a while. Probably will go on to be the next England manager. I'm envious of Newcastle, and I like Newcastle. I've said it a lot, but there's a lot of comparison between us. Working man's club, working family club, not just man's club anymore. Had toxic owners that nearly destroyed the club, and they lost all hope, and was in a state of apathy that we're in now. And then they had the massive celebrations of when they left and got taken over. Won a trophy, got back in the Champions League, been in the Champions League now 2 years. Obviously, they had that little break. But that is, I crave what Newcastle have got. That freedom from toxic owners to show ambition, to do the best they can. Listen, even though they lost Isak, and again, not through any fault of their own, he wanted to go. They went out. They got another striker in who looks really good. He's scoring goals, the new Crouchy. They're a great side. I've got nothing but praise for them as a football team. Our last 6 games against them, we lost 1-0. Before that, we won 2-0 away. It's a freak result last year. One of our best performances last year away. Was 4-3 away before that. 2-2 draw at home. 5-1 loss, that horrific game a few years ago, and then a draw 1-1. So it's loss, win, loss, draw, loss, draw. We due a win? Maybe we're due a win at home. I looked at the records between Eddie Howe and Nuno. Eddie has 4 wins, 3 draws, and 2 losses against Nuno. And in terms of his record against West Ham, obviously this includes Bournemouth as well. 7 wins against West Ham, 6 draws and 4 losses. Newcastle strengths are aerial duels and defending set pieces. There's no major weaknesses this season, except for maybe beyond their first 11. That midfield 3 is arguably the best midfield 3 in the league as a unit. And maybe if one of them's out or 2 of them are out, that's where they potentially could show a slight weakness. Style of players, they take lots of long shots, loads of crossing, go down the right wing quite a lot, and they control the ball in their opponent's half. They're aggressive. You're in a game against Newcastle, the Arsenal game, the Liverpool game. Them players that came off the opposition, Liverpool and the Arsenal, they knew they was in a game. They will kick you up in the air. They will battle and bully and press. And you're coming out of that game. Have West Ham got a midfield to compare and compete? Not from me. They will usually line up in the 4-4-3 formation with Pope in goal, Trippier at right back, Botman for, I think it's pronounced 4, and Dan Burn at left back. Solid, experienced midfield. As I say, Gamiras, Tonali, Jolent, and there's no better midfield three in the league for me. There's power in there. There's passing. There's ability to turn on the shoulder. There's pace. There's energy. There's physicality. There's not really a weakness in there. In terms of their front line, Gordon is very good. I like Gordon. He likes scoring against us as well. And Murphy's been in good goal scoring form again. And obviously the new guy, Watermeg, I think that's how you pronounce it, Watermeg, up front. It's going to be a tough game. It's a tough ask. I'm not confident at all with this game. I'm really not. There's nothing that Nuno's shown me so far. And if he dares play that Irvine and Souček midfield again, and no striker, you may as well just go like that. Honestly, we may as well just put our hands up and go, are we even going to fight? Are we even going to try to keep ourselves in this league? Because I can't see it. In terms of us, like I say, there's a few things I would do. I don't think he will do it, but there's a few things I would do. In defence, I don't like Kilman, but there is nobody else. Tobido for me has to come out. If I'm picking one of them to come out of the centre-half position, it's Tobido. His attitude stinks. He doesn't look like he really wants to be there. For me, I would either put Igor in. I don't know how bad he is, how good he is, whatever. Just put him in. Or if you want to take a slight gamble, you put Magassa in there as centre-back with Kilman for me. Wan-Bissaka right back. He's our best defensive fullback. We'll need him. Obviously, Juve's going to play. It's going to be a big battle there with Murphy or Gordon if they switch wings. The midfield, Potts, please, Nuno, if you're going to do anything, if you're going to change one player, Freddie Potts has to play. I want the midfield that finished against Leeds. I want Fernandes, Potts, and Paquetá. Jimmy on the right. Jimmy on the left, Somerville. Bowen on the right. And he's got to be playing against his former club. He might not have the pace. He might not have the legs as such anymore. But Callum Wilson will be playing against a former club. It's a game to put him in. He'll probably have a little bit between his teeth and think, yeah, I'm going to show Newcastle what I can do. Try and score a goal. You know, we've got to play a striker. People keep slating Paquetá about his performances and not being up to the level. He's not playing in the right position. His position is to look up and see a striker moving or see a winger moving. No one's moving. He looks up. No one's moving in front of him. At least Wilson will provide some sort of movement. Bowen will be able to run down his way. You've got Jimmy on the other side. We need something. I need some positivity. Got to start a striker. Potentially change one of the centre-backs and Freddie Potts. Freddie Potts has to start this game. Also, one other thing I'd like to see, just purely on the performance that he had in the under-21s the other day. Well, it wasn't under-21s, it was the EFL trophy, wasn't it? I think Earthy needs to be on the bench. I'm not saying start the guy. I can't see any reason that he would do any worse than what we're playing at the minute, but I'd like to see Earthy on the bench. I think he will give us an option to come on. He's sparky, he's energetic, he's West Ham, and I'd like to see him on the bench, to be honest with you. Nuno's record against Newcastle is 3 wins, 7 draws and 2 losses. So not the best of records of that either. More likely we'll get a draw. Would I take a draw? 100%. 100% I'd take a draw because Newcastle are a bloody good team. But then we'd have to go and beat Burnley next weekend. Game I'm going to because I want to be at the March. And going to the game is actually the worst bit of the day. The March, I would enjoy it. It would be nice seeing West Ham and that togetherness again. But the actual game, I'm not looking forward to the game at all. But we'll talk about that next week. Protests, just to finish off this video, the protests. So, Hammers United did put out a little thing on Twitter. I've sort of summarised it a little bit. So, wait until the 90th minute. Then you will not be stopped from moving to one of the 5 designated areas. If you need to find it, look on their social media page. I would have put a picture up, but I ain't got time to do all the editing. There's 5 designated areas. Obviously, the main one is Bobby Moore lower, but do not move until 90th minute or final whistle, because they will see it as you're trying to get somewhere, rather than you're going for the protest, like you're trying to move seats during the wrong time. Apparently, stewards have been told not to prevent movement, but if you leave the ground, you will not be allowed to come back in. So if we are 5-0 down, don't leave and think you're going to get back in for the protest. You know, sit it out, please. It needs to look good. It needs to look good. It needs to sound good. And we just need to build momentum. What was the other thing? They've been told that it will be no longer than 40 minutes, but hold loads of people and make it visual. Fans can leave whenever they want. If they do go to a protest and they think, you know, I've done 15 minutes, done 20 minutes, whatever, now I'm going, they will be allowed to leave. There'll be no intimidation from our fans, and there'll be no intimidation from the stewards. You will be able to leave whenever you want if you do join the protest. So please do. Please do. I don't see anyone now saying they want boarding, apart from we know who the stooge is, who get all their information and stuff. We need to show unity. We need to make it loud and visual. It is on Sky. So straight after the game, whilst they're doing their build up to the next game, I'm sure there will be bits where it goes back. Not really, because they usually, even though it's West Ham Newcastle, they will probably be talking about, I think it's Man City in it, or someone in the afternoon, the 4 o'clock game. They'll probably be talking about that from 1 o'clock rather than the actual game that's kicking off at 2. But I do believe that, you know, Sky Sports News will pick it up. Talk Sport will have visuals, you know, and it needs to look good for the papers as well. You know, that it needs to look like we, you know, it's not just a small little pocket. It's quite a lot of us coming together to get this toxic poison out of our football club. And the good thing is about Newcastle fans, if any Newcastle fans watch this, I know they're behind it as well. There's a guy called Vizza. He's been on the channel before. He's quite a big YouTuber, actually a massive YouTuber. He's a big Burnley fan. He did a video about West Ham yesterday. And I commented on it saying about how we're all in apathy, you know, the club died in 2016, blah, 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 blah. And a lot of Newcastle fans responded to it, and you know, and I appreciate that. Newcastle fans say they have a lot of sympathy for West Ham. They can see the comparisons. So yeah, I'm sure they will, you know, during the 90 minutes, you know, we're rivals, but I'm sure before and I'm sure after the game, they will show that unity, because they know they've experienced toxic owners, and they know exactly what West Ham are going through. Anyway, I'm leaving it there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate every view, every comment. Big thank you to the guy who give me $1.99. You know, don't have to do it, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'll be back Sunday afternoon after the game, probably depressed that we've lost, and even more likely to go down. But until next time, guys, come on, you irons, back it, and please, if you can get down to the Burnley protest next week, get there. Be there. It's important. Save our club. Let's go.